episode is
I'm crying. I wipe my nose.
I wipe my nose.
I'm a clean guy.
Not smoking weed before episodes ever again.
It is what it is.
Hey, somebody's catching contact high. This is the episode of Black Zeus. Black Zeus.
Hey, yo.
Analytics have gotten into stand-up comedy, and it's just like crowd work. And it stops being about becoming a good comedian. Go Burr. Bro, the amount of homies I have seen get into the game of comedy being like, I am me. And then eventually, these are not them anymore, but they have success.
I had no horse in the race. Someone just like, hey, come to this premiere. Da, 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 da. The fakeness about it was like making me sick.
This episode sucks. How you been?
It's Hen Dog.
Black Zeus the Podcast Season 6, featuring Black Zeus and Dante, aka Black Zeus on YouTube, Patreon, and Instagram. Alright, I'm done.
What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of Black Zeus, the podcast, season 6, episode 11. I'm Black Zeus. You are the beautiful people. This is the podcast. I am okay, let's see. Kevin Samuels scale. No sevens. There's no sevens, right? So I'd say I'm a 6 out of 10 in terms of high. Probably looks in some people's eyes, but whatever, nigga. I got confidence. Anyways, we're here. We're going to have a good episode. There's a lot of good comedy-ish to talk about, baby. You a comedy fan, bitch? You a real comedy fan, nip? This is the page for you, motherfucker. You probably just turned off, but if you're still here, kudos to you. We're gonna have a good ass time. This is the comedy channel run by comedians for real comedy fans. I always f it up. I didn't even introduce this nigga. This was wrong from the start. I haven't stopped laughing for like the last 3-4 minutes.
This guy said he's a 6 out of 10 high. I forgot he turned the light on.
This is why I haven't been smoking as much on these episodes. Let me turn that. Oh, look. Oh, what? I got a big forehead? Bro, you're the internet. You ain't shit to me, nigga. I look in the mirror every day, bruh. Who are you? Joke world. That's an inside joke. That nigga sucks. That white nigga. What is this show? We're gonna talk about comedy. This is the page run by comedians for real comedy fans. That's what I was trying to say earlier. And you know I don't do this by myself. I run this shit back week to week with my road dog, with the homie. We just formed the new Black Degeneration X, nigga. We combined the Nation of Domination and DX. We called it the Nation of Degeneration, nigga. What up? Write that down because that's an episode title right quick. My brain is working, bro. Oh man, we just lost
Barely.
we just lost like 20 more people. But you guys know I don't do this shit alone. I have the #1 producer in the game. So good, he's just okay. But he's my homie. He's your homie. He's my brother from another. He's your mother from another brother. I don't know, bro. I'm just gonna... Let's just bring him in right now because we don't have that much time. But I'm going to waste another 5 minutes on this intro. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy lost $8 billion worth of crypto. If you look at it in today's value, he bought it all when it was pennies. You know what I mean? But he had that much crypto, and he bought a can of olives with it. This sucks. Dante's in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. So why are you still talking to her?
Pull up the meme. Pull up the meme. I was elected to meme, not to read.
Say shit to her. I stay the fuck away from her.
Dude, I got some whole girl with her.
Exactly. So what the fuck you talking to her for? Talking to her for? Talking to
Yo, wait, yo. Oh, that's evil, bro. And that was Hot Garbage Minute, brought to you by Dante, ladies and gentlemen.
You asked me to pull it
Yeah, I
up.
know. Yo, I'm with it. I'm with the shits,
Okay.
dog.
All right.
That's not hate, nigga.
Who said anything about hate?
Yeah, that's what. Okay. Take responsibility for the words you put out there. I'm not saying you said I'm hating.
Yeah, and I asked who did.
What does that sound like, nigga? How you living, bro?
Blessed and highly favored.
You need to start smoking weed again. I need to stop. Yeah, you been living all right?
Yeah, I've
Okay.
been great.
What you been up to in the game of comedy? Are we jumping right into it? Comedy recap, ladies and gentlemen.
Sure. Let's
Yeah, we
do
might
it.
as well F it. Yeah, we're on a time crunch. We're going to do comedy stuffs today. So we're going to get right into the podcast. And obviously, if you are returning, hello, welcome back, beautiful people. If you're new, you could be beautiful too. Just hit the subscribe button and keep coming back and watching and supporting all that good stuff. You know what it is. But we talk comedy. We talk what we've been up to in the week of comedy previous. We hit it up on the, damn, this sucks, nigga. We just come here on the podcast and we talk about what we've been up to. And then we talk about other stuff later. All right. This is the part where we do the other thing that I just said. This episode sucks. How you been?
Yeah, I'm a 6 out of 10 high.
So what you been up to?
I wrote some new jokes.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
did
for
the-
real?
yeah.
Did you try them out?
I did.
How do you feel about it? How do you feel about
First
it?
one needs hella polishing, but it's funny.
There's a diamond in the rough.
Yeah, very rough.
Did it bomb?
No, it hit, but it's
Like the one part hit?
a 2-parter, and it hit. But the intro is so long because I'm trying to set up the context for the joke.
Mr. Wordy McWordsmith over here.
Yeah. So it went well.
I'm laughing, bro. Like,
And then the other joke that I tried, a lot shorter
okay.
and a lot more nonsensical, which I like those kind of jokes. That one worked too.
Punchy?
Yeah,
Okay. I wish you recorded them, obviously.
I did.
Are you doing any time anywhere tonight? No, I
No.
don't think so. I'm just on a show. So
Yeah.
I don't think I can pull some strings on this one.
No.
But you know G.
I know, G.
Talk to him, bro. Maybe you can get 5 minutes.
We'll see.
Unless, oh man, last time I was at Real Jerk. Oh my goodness.
I thought you said you did good.
Yeah, no, like it was okay. It was the crowd work show last time I was there.
Okay.
So that
Is this
was
a crowd work show?
No.
Okay.
No. No, I'd only do that like once just to see how I like it. I don't. No, I think I'm headlining. I'm pretty sure I'm headlining.
Yeah, James is going to be there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we're gonna see him soon in a couple hours. But last time I was there, the show started like an hour late. And it's niggas. It's the Toronto Mandem Comedy Jam. So it's like people see Mandem is like, I could be 45 minutes late. I don't know why it made him sound like yokels, but you know, it's a new age for Mandem. Yo, hey dog. Oh god. All right, yo, I'm killing this. I'm killing the episode.
You're killing me, Petey.
Yes, that's a real inside joke. Perfect. Damn, the perfect. So I don't even know what I'm trying to ask you. So you tried some new jokes.
Yes.
One longer. Like, why even? You know better. I feel like.
I know.
Why go up there and just ramble?
Because, okay, so here's why.
Well, and was it an open mic? Let me preface this. Was it an open mic?
Yes, it was an open mic.
All right, then you do whatever you want. Yeah.
But I initially that wasn't part of the set list.
How do you mean?
I didn't even think of it as a joke. I was just telling a story to one of the comics before my set.
Oh, okay. So it was
And
like
he's
a
like-
quick thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just telling him a story like, oh, this just happened. Da, 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 da. He's like, dude, that's funny.
You should tell that.
Yeah.
You should tell that, bro.
Yeah. So that's what I did.
That just triggered me.
No, but it worked.
Yeah, of course. I'm just saying, just sitting in the back and just everybody's like every 5 seconds. It's like being at an open mic is like getting a call from a call center and you just hear in the background all the other conversations. And it's just like the same text dialogue.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's reading from the same script.
same script.
You should try that joke. You should try that joke. You should try that joke.
It wasn't so much like that, but like the way I was telling the story, I was just making them laugh. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think he took offense somehow to what I was just.
No.
Okay, because I wasn't saying it like that. But
No, but I'm just saying like it's. So then I'm like, okay, well let me go up and just see what happens. You know?
I love just the creative process, bro. Because like inspiration just strikes.
Mm-hmm.
I think
the other joke that I wanted to do.
Yeah, the quick one.
The quick one.
Yeah.
I got to try that one at Canvas the night before.
Okay.
So I knew it kind of worked, and even then I know I need to tighten it down even more than what it was. But after I tried it out on Wednesday, it worked. I'm like, okay, now I know where I can cut out some stuff for Thursday. It worked on Thursday, but then because I added the other joke, which took up like a minute and a half of just Japanese, you know,
Japanese. Yeah, bro. Like the refinement process for me is usually conversationally, but just over time you learn not to be. That was my favorite. That was my favorite, bro. There's too many inside jokes. I am too high. I'm realizing right now. I'm laughing at everything. I think over time, like when you're new in comedy, a lot of the conversational shit, like creating jokes in conversation, is so inorganic because it's like, yo, I'm gonna try a joke out on you.
No,
I'm not saying that this is how
I know. I get what you're saying,
but that's a lot of how it is at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then I'd like that. It's just nothing more cringy, I think, as a comic to be in a conversation and then have somebody be like, that's a bit right there. Like
he did in this situation. I know that happens.
Yeah.
It's happened before, but I'm saying in this situation, he didn't say like, oh, that's a bit. He just
it sounds like you were just talking.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Like that is the essence of funny, bro. Like, but then it's the crossing that bridge of this was funny in conversation. Now, how do I bring it to an audience?
Yeah.
And then what's also tougher is I'm assuming this was at what? Talking Arts?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you're talking to a room full of comics at the same, like it's hard.
There
it's
was
just-
audience actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Salutes to Talking Arts.
Yeah.
Bro. I like hearing this, especially as we get into the warmer months.
Yeah.
Woo!
The more people are coming out. They grab ice cream or whatever.
Oh, true. It's getting warmer. That's a good location, man. But then I don't know, because there was that one time there was a family that just popped up and
in the
it
front.
was just them.
Yeah.
And some guy goes up and just oh no.
Yeah, then they left.
Jeffrey Dahmer jokes and shit. But I honestly I think that is the essence of this shit. Like if you can just figure out how to recognize, it's like, oh, if there's like an alarm bell or something that you can almost subliminally or subconsciously is what I'm trying to say, get off in your mind, is like, that's funny.
Yeah.
Whether you be in conversation with somebody, in thought, just observing life.
In thoughts.
Well, realistically, thoughts are just passing. So it's like they don't even they shouldn't exist in like, you know, what am I trying to say?
I'm a 6 out of 10 high.
Yo, that might be the episode title right there. But then we get blocked on the algo right there. No, it makes sense to me. You can go fuck yourself. No, I don't even want to explain it because it doesn't make sense to anything outside of my brain.
Thoughts as in like THOTS.
Oh, you a bitch ass nigga. You really trying to, he set me up now. He set me up. You're my biggest enemy right now. You hating, dog. When did I become your Josh Johnson, nigga?
I want to also add.
Yeah.
I did something else.
DMT?
No.
Oh.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
There was a mic at the workshop.
Kenny's workshop?
Yeah.
Yesterday?
Yep. They put on a mic at Blackhurst.
Oh, at the bookstore.
Yeah.
Don't say Kenny's workshop.
No, but Kenny was there.
It's not his workshop though.
But it was.
It was a mic at the bookstore.
No. But it's part of the workshop.
Isn't the workshop Mondays?
It is on Mondays. But we hosted a mic on the Friday.
Okay.
And we recorded the sets, and then on Monday we're gonna watch them back.
So it was just for workshop people?
Only workshop people were on the show.
Yeah.
But then there was audience members.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Man, I love Kenny, man. Salutes to OG Kenny Robinson actually doing something for the community. Like,
Yeah.
yo, I love that, bro. I love that. That's like actually something tangible.
Dog, I almost fumbled the bag in a half.
He almost bombed at
No, okay. So this is what happened. First of all,
all written material or any new stuff.
let me get to that.
Okay.
But I had a shoot beforehand
Yeah.
in Mississauga,
Okay.
right? And I told the guy, I'm like, yo, I gotta be somewhere. I gotta leave at like 5 o'clock, you know? We didn't finish the shoot till like 5:30.
Okay.
And I thought the show was at 7 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
In Toronto. So I thought it was at 7. So then I'm driving from Mississauga. I'm taking the 403, blah, 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 traffic. But I'm like, I still got time. You know, I'm chilling. I'm going to be early. I'm going to be there by 6:30.
Yeah.
Show started at 6.
Oh no.
But it's niggas.
So you were on time.
So I was on time. And I was first up.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I guess sometimes it works in your favor, bro.
Blessed and highly favored.
That's so funny, especially for you being the guy who's always on time.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm early. You never know, you know?
Even if you're always on time, you're still a nigga. I'm back, ladies and gentlemen.
But so I roll in, like I come in, I'm chill,
Yeah.
at like 6:30, 6:35-ish. And like there's already audience members there. I'm like, why is everyone here so early? Show starts at 7.
That's so funny.
Like it's now the thing is started at 6, right? And then I go talk to the host. She's like, yeah, you're first up. That I'm like, damn, like, okay, let me just get my jacket off, get everything ready. And then they started the show like almost right. It's not that they were waiting for me.
No, but pretty much as soon as you showed up.
Yeah. So then I didn't really like lock in, get in that mode, that zone, but I went up, I did my stuff.
That's good. Sometimes you got to work under that pressure, bro.
Yeah,
like you got to experience that.
My legs were shaking again. Like I got those like
Nervous.
those jitters. Like
I didn't practice.
It's not that I didn't practice, but I was like, oh, like
You didn't set yourself up mentally.
yeah.
Like I'm sure. Do you have like a pre-game ritual?
No.
No.
I went up and I did my thing, right? But where I floundered is that wasn't really the time to try the new joke that I just did the night before.
Oh, you should have done polished.
Yeah, it should have just been polished all the way through,
Yeah.
right? So after the set, Kenny's like, you finished strong.
Dude. Oh, if you know Kenny, good old Kenny encouragement. You finished strong, kid.
Yeah.
At least he didn't say the N-word 80 times like I did back in the day. And sometimes still today.
Yeah. But it is what it is.
Hey, somebody's catching contact high.
But I forgot that
This episode sucks.
I forgot that they were gonna record the set and then we were gonna watch it back on Monday.
Yes! That makes me so happy that that's the set that was recorded. Oh, you're going to be so upset.
No,
You're going to be, Sunday, you're not going to sleep.
I barely sleep anyways. But no, I think that's good because at least for me,
Yeah.
I literally just came in off the street. You're going up first.
Yeah.
Just
Whatever excuse you have to find.
It's not. I'm not giving my. I'm just saying that that's what happened.
That's
I'm happy that it happened. this way.
I'm completely being a bully right now. Don't let me bully you, son.
I'm unbullyable, son.
That's a lie.
Yeah.
we have determined that was a lie. I know I'm bullyable. I'm very sensitive, but at least I'm honest about it. This bitch ass nigga thinks he's a stone. Stop acting so hard, nigga. Cry. At least there's gonna be funny clips, you know? But overall, let's say we're 20 minutes into this episode right now. Let's give us a clean slate. If you made it through to this point, you guys get a bonus star. You're super fans. Welcome to Black Zeus, the podcast, season 6, episode 11. I am Black Zeus. That's my homie Dante. He's in the studio, number one producer in the game. Pop, 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 pop. Yeah. I am 9 out of 10. This is the episode of Black Loose. Black Loose.
Hey, yo.
Yo, strike that from the record. Yo, Mr. Editor, man. Make sure that doesn't make it in the final edit. Hey, I'm throwing up my hands, so if you're speeding through the footage real quick, just look for, you'll know to see this. Fish. The more I say, this is the worst episode for me, they've become my favorite episodes. Like, damn, bro, it's just like it's like a lucid dream. I swear to God. I did do comedy, but I can't remember shit right now. The main thing I think, like, I've been working on this project, and I've just been finding a different level of, I guess, discipline in this. I don't know. It's funny how many times in life, whether, like, obviously I'm talking specifically in comedy, but bro, this applies to life in general.
Yep.
The amount of times that you go from master to student, or at least feeling that way. Yep. Reverting right back to zero. I keep crying, laughing, and I have no Kleenex. So like, I did it, nigga. I'm a comedian, nigga. I wipe my nose, nigga.
What?
Because people, I'm not a clean guy. You know, I don't know what I am. I shower. Yo, this episode is shit. This episode is shit.
Like, I'm crying. I wipe my nose.
I wipe my nose.
I'm a clean guy.
I'm a clean guy, bro. I'm not dirty. I just wipe my nose. I'm not smoking weed before episodes ever again. I smoked a 2 grammer just to myself. Niggas is busy. The joint never got passed around. Anyways, I'm breathing, so that's good.
Yep.
What was I talking about, bro?
Master to student.
Jesus, this is the wrong time to do that. But I do feel that way. I do feel like somehow it's like you take all the lessons that you've learned. I guess that's what reflection is, in a sense. At some point, you do have to kind of stop and assess. Yeah, this episode. What the fuck is happening?
I tried to type in master to student. I look what I typed. It said
Masturbate?
No, it said master to stunned.
That's not even funny. Master to stunned?
Stunned. It's just a typo, but I thought I typed student.
You broke, damn, because I forgot what I was talking about again for that shit.
You gotta do some
Master to student.
reflection.
Yeah, I know. I'm at some point I am exaggerating a lot of this, but okay. Master to students. I feel like I've hit this place again, which we've been talking about, obviously, like it's been showing the last like 2 seasons of the podcast. But all these skills, it's like what's the game? Call of Duty. You know when you like level up maximum and then
Prestige.
prestiging?
Yes.
Yeah, bro. So then you start back at level 0, but you have all the. What do you get your weapons and all that shit or no? You
just get the skill.
So you get the skill. So you start back at 0.
Your skill at playing the game.
Interesting. Really? So what the hell is the point of just to flex on niggas? Just to be like, prestige, whatever. I'm so good at this.
Yeah, but
I'll throw all the tools away.
But think of it, because you know when you're really a beginner and you're at level 0 and you get to level 100, you're better than you were at 0.
100%.
But then when you prestige, your level goes back down to 0, but your skill stays where you were. It's not like your skill just disappears again.
No. But I guess I do kind of relate it to that, but in a sense, also, I still feel like because it's comedy, I'm not really losing my skill. It's almost like a forced reset.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Whereas, like, I'm doing this purposely. I'm like mentally taking myself back to the beginning, like how we've been talking on Black Zeus' show, by the way. If you haven't seen the latest episode of Black Zeus' show, is on the channel right now, featuring Jared Nathan, Blair the Handy. We were out at a show in the East End of Toronto with those guys, got great interviews. What's up?
Catch me on Laugh Without Limits, March 30th, Comedy Danforth.
All right, bless. You got shows to promote. You could have waited to your moment, but like whatever.
Yeah, you
stop derailing me. I'm too high. You can't do this to me right. You're killing me, Petey. What the hell was I talking about? Oh shit! This episode is
back to
trash.
basics.
No. I was damn. I was talking about something specific. Anyways, go watch the new episode of the show.
Yes.
I am forcing myself to kind of go back to how I like, because you can't really function as you did without the skill in real life. I can't take myself back to level 0 being a comedian other than mentally and kind of try and approach it the way I did when I was just flat footed and didn't know where the hell I was going. And that makes sense.
I'm not following. Like flat-footed as in you're just not moving.
You're just kind of stumbling around. You're not really making the right moves. You don't even really know what you're looking at.
You're not on your toes.
Yeah, it's like I like, bro, there's just so much shit that comes to obviously life and being an artist on top of that. I feel like if you're not an artist specifically, then this does absolutely sound like rambles, and probably to even some artists it sounds like rambles. But man, the actual struggle of being true to being an artist, bro. Not like I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but like all this weird new age shit. I think you said something that like off camera before we started recording. I was saying something and then you called me an old man, which was funny.
Today?
Yeah, just not. Damn, where's your memory? It just happened 5 minutes ago before we started recording.
No, we were talking about. I don't think I called you an old man. What were we?
Yeah, you made the joke because I was saying some shit.
No, you thought I made the joke, which is what we were talking about.
Well, either way, like I said some
this
shit.
was before.
Either way, I said some shit that sounded like like get off my lawn type shit, which I feel like it would be if I was only coming at things from the approach of this generation stuff sucks, meme culture sucks. But I think once you get past a certain point, you really do see how all of it has always sucked. Like my generation was no better. The reason that it sucks so hard now is because my generation let it continue to suck. And the generation before us is just a long line of fish. You're Jamaican, nigga. You should get that of all people.
I get it.
Thank you. It's a long line of people that are sucking. I'll just say it like that for the non-Jamaicans. Y'all are so stop with the lame shit. It all sucks. Content sucks. All of it, this podcast sucks. It's all trash. Like all of it is so far away from the essence of what art is for people. I think like we've even lost sight of what art is for people. People don't even know what art is for them anymore because it's just a constant drip feed of shit that you think is what you actually want. But like art is not what you want. It's what you need. You know what I mean? I think real art is the shit that pushes boundaries. Like the clip that we played last week of Nina Simone talking about an artist's real duty is to reflect the times. It's like, but we've devalued it so much that reflect the times is a meme that's out every 0.0 seconds. There's like 1 million memes released. And is it really reflecting the times if no one's actually pausing to reflect? Like it's just a constant vomit Like this will actually bring us into the next segment. Let's abandon the one of the worst comedy recaps in this podcast history. We'll start fresh once again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Black Zeus Dante podcast, season 6, episode 11. Greatest episode ever. Starting right now. My boy Dante's in the house, number one producer in the game. If you're into a really convoluted comedy recap, go back 30 minutes and start over. But we're going to move into a segment right now called In These Comedy Skreets. Every once in a while, Dante and myself head into Reddit, Twitter, whatever. We look into the comedy sections of these places, and we pull up some interesting articles, videos, news, whatever, and we give our takes. And this kind of leans perfectly into what I was just talking about. There's a couple posts that I saw. We should start with the Bill Burr one first, because let's just... For the title of this post on the Reddit stand-up board, first of all, it's by Umper Tunter. I don't get internet names, but my Xbox gamer tag was garbage too, so I can't really complain. Anyways, the title is He Ain't Wrong, and it's a picture of Bill Burr. And Burr's been in the news a lot lately. He just released a comedy special on, I think, Hulu or something like this. And he's getting a lot of flack from both sides of the political spectrum, which once again, if you're ideologically tied to left or right or blue or red or whatever, you're already kind of, I think, behind the 8 ball on that one. But Burr's been getting a lot of people being like, he's gone woke and this and that. Look at that. Obviously, he's talking woke stuff because he's got a black wife. It's like just the most ridiculous. It's like, I think everybody's just ridiculous, bro. If you're, again... But this is a quote, I believe, from Bill Burr on the Monday Morning Podcast, apparently from November 25th, 2024. Analytics have gotten into stand-up comedy, and it's just like crowd work. Okay, get some more numbers. I've got to sell tickets. Okay, get a special, chop up the special, post the clips. And it stops being about becoming a good comedian. Bill Burr. And like... Again, when I'm at my level, nobody knows me or whatever, it definitely looks more like the ramblings of a madman. That's why I'm grateful to OGs, established people, because it has to be them that takes the lead on this shit, because it only means something to more people when it's from them. When it's from people on my level, people can say like, this guy's jaded or he's just pissed that he hasn't made it. It's like, yo, I've pivoted so far from what I originally thought I wanted out of this game when I got in, because I just learned more, not just about life, but about myself. And I am true to that. I don't fall down the pitfall, or at least I try hard to be authentic. There's a lot of fake authenticity going on.
Be yourself, fuck, Nick.
Be yourself, fuck, Nick. It's a lot of clout bullshit. It's so ironic that I got in with a stage name because I feel like everybody else is playing characters.
Well, there's some truth to that, because a lot of people say, is Batman the mask or is Bruce Wayne the mask?
Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
So, but like, let's not forget, like, I created the stage name to create that separation. I am still me, but the line is very thin between what me and Black Zeus is. Mm-hmm. I just found a way over time to to blur that line, but I still remain authentically myself, but I'm definitely a caricature of who I am to some extent, where I feel like now people are creating the image for people. It's like wrestling. You know what I mean? It's like
they're living the gimmick.
They're living the character. You live long enough to become the villain, bro.
Yeah, that's another Batman quote.
Of course. That's why I like. But that's
they're die a hero.
Because let's take everybody's favorite reason for getting into this, bro. Money, dog. It ain't everything else. It's about the money, bro. Like, there's just like, I just broke my own heart just saying that shit. I swear to God. Because that's what money is really. It's just it's devaluing. I don't even want to say human stuff, just real, tangible, real things, bro. And now we're finally, I think, starting to get to that peak of people realizing what social media, 24/7 video news channels, YouTube platforms, video hosting platforms, like how we were promised, liberation, but actually given shackles. That's what it truly feels like. How do we, like, even not to get Jaden Smith about shit, but can we talk about the economical state of the world right now? Again, I'm a comedian.
Dude was ahead of his time.
I'm not the guy, like, but these are just my opinions on my podcast. This is the place for me to do this. I'm not going out and trying to do Josh Johnson and diatribe on a stage for 80 minutes, say nothing funny. But this is the place for me to not be funny. if I'm gonna do that anywhere, this is the place.
Yeah.
It just feels so odd and fake. And isn't it weird how on these platforms people make a name for themselves, build a following for themselves, talking about the right thing to do and the right person to be and the right way to act. You know what I mean? Or even the opposite end, where it's just people being a menace to society.
Yeah.
Like, it's just all pitfalls, man.
Yeah, I do see that, but
I have to get this point off before I lose it. How does that coexist at the same times as bombs dropping on kids, starvation in your own neighborhood, homelessness in your own neighborhood? Like, you know what? Like, there's like a cognitive dissonance that could only exist with the technology that we have today and the way that I don't even want to put the blame on people, because again, these are designed platforms. People know how the brain works. People know psychology. People know human behavior. Mm-hmm. And bro, I can be whatever. I'm a dumb comedian. Sure. You can just do quick Google search, do your Googles, and you can find studies, research after research, study after study, peer-reviewed shit. I'm just a nigga on the podcast. But like, the stats are out. Everything is on the rise. Depression, anxiety. No one can look each other in the eye and talk anymore. Like, you're telling me that the devaluation, the degradation of art is not directly linked in all of this. We tell ourselves that we want and like and need memes, and it's a culture, when we don't even realize that the word culture is trademarked, registered, stamped, signed, and approved. Nigga, you are going to Walmart at this point. What culture? And like, especially black people right now, like, bro, this is the biggest spell casted over Western black culture, quote unquote. We run this shit, we this shit, and then we just focus on, like, yeah, okay, then run it, nigga. Stop like letting it all seep out. I feel like, when Martin Luther King died is when this nigga went public and said, I'm sorry I led us into a burning house. Segregation, like, the integration was not the way. We had our own thriving businesses, our own thriving neighborhoods, our own thriving this and that. And this isn't even about the racial aspect of it. You can extrapolate this for rich and poor, bro. You can, like, this goes across the board for everything. We are lost. And we're contributing to the delusion, and we're acting like that's okay. And then I'm the weirdo, right? I'm the guy that's yelling on a soapbox, or you're an old man or whatever. Or Bill Burr, this guy's gone woke because he said analytics have gotten into stand-up comedy and it's just like crowd work. Okay, let's get my numbers up and sell some tickets. Okay, let's make a special, chop up the special and post the clips. And it stops being about being a good comedian. It stops being about, most people never was about, especially now. It's about clout. You see other people getting some shine, but you don't have, to quote the great Corey Holcomb, you got zero talent, nigga. Zero. You are copy pasting what you think is culture, what you think is comedy, what you think is art. Even look at the state of modern art, bruh. It's putting a banana on a wall with a piece of tape. I'm not even making that up. That was in an exhibit.
Now, question on that.
Please,
because,
devil's advocate, the of this shit.
Well, because I think that is kind of a reflection of the time. Because the fact that can even be perceived as art is the piece in itself. You get what I'm saying?
I would hope so. I would hope that that's actually the creator's intent.
Yeah. Like, look, even this banana in a tape is art, and people are taking pictures of it.
I guess. Yeah, that's a good point. Like that is a valid point. I can't knock that. But I think that's more like it's like a double-edged sword. You know what I mean? A lot of that stuff is like the pop stuff. That stuff that gets headlines, like the banana on the wall. There's like a million other real artists who will never see a headline. That's the stuff that gets pushed for a reason. There's a reason to keep people looking at certain things, thinking certain ways, watching certain stuff.
Yeah.
Falling into an ideological rabbit hole, being like, I'm only this. If you're not this, then we can't even be in the same room. When has life ever existed in a healthy way like that? Ever. It never has. But that's how you play on people, bro. Eventually, you get to the point like, damn, my phone's in another room. But I was having this conversation with somebody the other day, bro. And it's like, I'm just using the religious figure as a point. This has nothing to do with religion. But again, even just me, but I don't want to use me because then that almost looks like I'm martyring myself. But anybody who speaks up against this shit, they're usually right in the long term. Like look at the playing out of conspiracy theories. It always starts like what's that? There's like an order of events. It's like it starts as conspiracy, then like radical, like anti this. Then they start to be like, oh, maybe there's something to this. Then it's just an outright, this is the thing. You know what I mean? There's like a pat.
I get what you're saying. I haven't seen that though.
Yeah, like it. But that's what it feels like is happening. Like we're just being manipulated. It's easier to manipulate the masses, and then every once in a while, people really do wake up. Like Neo is everybody, if you want to be, or you could be Agent Smith, which most people are, because they back up the system. But then when the Neos speak up, it's usually too late. By the time you realize, like, oh, that nigga was speaking right. It's like you just crucified Jesus. You realized 10 days too late that that guy that we just martyred was actually trying to liberate us. And we're actually even more now. And it's not that, again, like you would never catch me doing this on stage like this. There's ways to present this, and that was my qualms with Josh Johnson last week.
Yeah.
It's like, how dare you go up on a comedy stage, my nigga? How dare you go up on a comedy stage and do what I just did, a podcast diatribe. And sell the good people on you mild nigga. If you were working in a hall, they put you out there with a little hot dog in your hand. Corey Holcomb, bro. Can we look at some of the comments on this Bill Burr thing? And do you agree with this before we get into it too heavy?
Analytics has gotten into stand-up comedy. Yes, I agree with that. Crowd work to get more numbers. Yeah, you gotta sell more tickets. That's why they want more numbers. I agree with that. Get a special, chop it up, post the clips for more numbers. Yeah. It's also about being a good comedian.
You had so I'm 14 years in.
Yeah.
Like I feel so much happier about being this much deeper in the game before this all really took hold in comedy. Even though it's been tough for me to be comfortable existing like the old ways.
Okay.
And not being like, I'm just all the new shit, because it's not about that. I just don't think it's healthy for the actual art form and for myself. But you being a new comedian, do you feel the pressure to post constantly, to get your comedy clips up, to do all this stuff?
No, because I wanted to be a comedian before all this stuff even existed. So like, I just wanted to be a good comedian. That was my thing from the start. And then when we're having that conversation last week, you're like, that's very childlike. I'm like, you're goddamn right.
Yeah. Childlike approach to it.
Yeah. But me personally, I just want to be a good comedian. That's the first thing. Just be good. You know, I don't want to be mild. You know, I want to be elite.
Yeah, but to what extent do you take that, bro? See, this is why I say you gotta be really direct. That's so broad. And let me get this out. To just say I want to be a good comedian, dog. To just say that will lead you down the path of all this other bullshit. You want to just be a good comedian, then post your clips, do the things.
No,
just run the lap, doggy.
no, because I think a good comedian is someone that, you know, gets people to laugh in any situations. It's not the one that sells the most tickets, but it's like who makes people laugh like really, really hard. Who makes people when their stomachs hurting.
It still goes deeper. So let me push back on that.
Okay.
You still got to think about it deeper because you can still do that by how these clowns are doing it online. You build your audience online by making your memes. You do your little goofy shit, and then people love you for that. And then you sell them wolf tickets to a comedy show, and then they show up, and then you do the goofy thing, and then they think you're a comedian because you yourself don't know what a comedian is. But now everything is just such broad term that do you see where I'm coming from with this?
I get it.
Like how like you have to pick a side ultimately at some point. Am I all the way artist about being funny?
Yes.
How you say?
Yes.
Or am I comfortable being funny to the people that find me funny? Once I just
No.
find my little funny thing.
No, because like I said, I want to be funny. And then the second option was be funny to the people that think I'm funny.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that's why we're good friends.
Yeah.
Because like you're an artist
'Cause
about your
it-
shit.
like I
but
said-
you still Matrix nigga every once in a
When I-
while. You show me. You
When
show
I
me.
like I said, when I was a kid and I wanted to be a comedian,
Yeah.
that's the most purest form of comedian you could want to be.
Yes. But now that you're in the game, you're not fully locking into what I'm trying to get across here.
Okay. What exactly?
Like, because now that
Be
you're
very specific.
because now that you're in the game of comedy,
Yeah.
you're saying, I just want to be funny.
I want to be a good comedian, which
But that's
as a
very
byproduct
broad.
is being, well, you have to be funny to be a good comedian. Can't be a good comedian and not be funny.
Are you not seeing a lot of these social media guys?
Yeah, but
selling
are they
out-
good comedians
selling-
though?
So, yes.
They are.
No. Like now you're getting to the crux of what I'm trying to get across. That's why you can't be just broad by saying, I just want to be funny. No, bro. Are you an artist about this shit or do you just want to be funny? There is an actual line in the sand about this. Because if you are, you'll figure it out, bro. You haven't had the experiences yet in terms of like opportunities that will come your way. Do I say yes to this opportunity because it exposes me to more people, but now I'm getting further plugged into this fake bullshit side of the game
Okay.
and being further removed from what I want to do? When people start walking up to you on a stage or on a set or backstage and be like, no, don't do that, do this. You start to feel away. At least, unless you're all the way with that side of the game. But if you're a real artist about yourself, you will start to have these internal battles, bro. That's what this shit is. It sucks. Like, it's great. Like, oh, bro, I gotta be careful about my wording. It's amazing for Burr, for Chappelle, for Corey, for all these guys, because they're established. So for them to be talking like this, again, I said it's necessary for the OGs to be talking like this, but this is also kind of from a place of status and privilege at this point. They could say these things and there's no backlash because people look at them as...
I thought you said he was getting backlash.
No,
Not from this, but
like,
in general.
In terms of like, he's an established mind, he's an established artist. This isn't going to hurt his brand or ticket
Okay.
sale. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Me building, it's tough to speak how I speak from the heart about this shit and then trying to build things and then having other people look at me and be like, that bitter nigga, like we're not even going to do it. Like the perception game. And then for me to have to be okay with that. I'm like, perception is whatever. If you're not going to have a conversation with me about real life, then but that also removes opportunities. Now all of a sudden I'm like out of certain circles. And it's funny how things come around because we're all adults, people grow up. And then I feel like I'm better at presenting myself now more and actually like not falling for what I think it wants me to post, but just posting
Yeah.
Us authentically displaying this.
Mm-hmm.
These clips have been getting better numbers than when I'm trying to be like, let's do a comedy style clip. That. And now I'm not even posting as much. I'm like, I'm gonna post today.
Yeah.
Like the stress-free. I pray that at least people, even if you're in the clout business, I pray that you can at least get to a place where you're not like, don't have that anxiety and pressure to have to post.
Well, they have to post.
And that to me is,
I don't gotta post nothing.
that ain't art.
Yeah.
That is commercial.
Yeah.
And it may have started with the seed of art, but nowhere like it's fake, bro. And when you start to really take the blinders off, when you put on the they live glasses, that's why I don't feel like I'm an old man yelling out like get off my lawn.
Mm-hmm.
I really do feel healthy about what I'm saying because I've processed it and I apply it to myself. I apply it to my generation. There's times where I do catch myself. I'm like, this is jaded energy. Let me pull this back because that's not what I'm trying to present myself as. That's not even how I truly feel.
Mm-hmm.
Let me process why I'm feeling like this at this moment. Like with the Josh Johnson clip last week, you know what I mean? Like I really took my time to articulate so it wasn't just,
Yeah, you took your time, all right?
well, because again, it's my podcast.
I know.
Where else am I going to do this shit? You know, but like there are other people who feel this way. There's just not enough that talk openly this way.
Yeah.
That from my experience, bro, the amount of homies I have seen get into the game of comedy being like, I am me. And then eventually these niggas are not them anymore, but they have success.
Yep.
And that's not to fault or whatever. You're not a piece of garbage because of that. But let's be honest about things. This shit changes you if you let it. If you go in with just the bare, I just want to be funny, you'll find yourself funny in a room full of executives, and one of them will have the dick out. You might be down with that, and then you might be down with that. Cool. But let's not act like the game ain't what the game is. And people don't get propped up by accident.
Nope. Which I think we could have also, we were supposed to talk about that Anthony Mackie thing at some point too, but we never got a chance to.
Yes. So I think that will, like, we're going to cut the other conversation out for next week.
Okay.
And then put that Mackie clip with that because I think they go together
They do.
perfect. Yeah. So we won't even bring up the other one
Okay.
because this is a good episode right here.
Yeah.
Do you have any, like, again, I love that you're here to like check me on my shit because that I think is the healthiest thing, bro, to have healthy people around you to check you.
Yeah.
Because if you like, how do you really believe what you believe? You can do it on your own. It's
Yeah.
meditation and reflection and all that stuff, but we exist in this plane of existence at
Yeah.
this time. You know what I mean? So, like, do you agree? Where do you disagree? Where do you agree? Like, what are your some closing thoughts? And then we'll wrap up and get on here. What time is it, by the way?
3. We gotta go.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Let's just say this. I had a little taste of that executive side of the game where I
Of
just
life.
yeah, where I went to I just went to a premiere of a show
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't like it. I think I told you this.
Yeah.
I didn't have no I had no horse in the race. Someone just like, hey, come to this premiere, da 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 da. And the fakeness about it was like making me sick.
Yeah.
And this is just local Toronto stuff. And these guys are laughing at this guy because he's the big actor and so they gotta be on his good graces. Everyone's laughing at the jokes of the show, even though it's not funny.
It's fake.
Ugh.
I have a story like that, and then we'll wrap it here. But a good friend of mine who's on the industry side of the game, he was at a dinner one night, like a banquet, and it was like all Canadian, black, whatever, like artists and all this stuff. And then he's at the table with the mayor, and then he's like, all the other tables is all like mixed people, and it's just like black people all just sitting around the mayor, and the mayor is this white dude, and he just had this moment of realization. He's like, am I a token right now? Like, people just, you know, you look like the Thanksgiving centerpiece. You know what I mean?
He looks like the turkey.
The centerpiece.
I don't know.
Like the friggin' little displays of bullshit, the trinkets and all that stuff.
No, I don't know.
Whatever. We ain't white, so you're not required to know this. But yeah, like you feel it.
Yeah.
Even the people in the game, they feel it.
Yeah, but they're playing the game.
They're playing the game, and that's good for them if they want to do that.
Yeah.
More power to them. But yeah, we got to get on out of here.
Yep.
That has been another episode of Black Zeus the podcast. Before we do, you have any final words?
Like, follow, subscribe, share the clips.
All right. Ditto. Like, follow, subscribe, share the clips. Latest episode of Black Zeus' show on the channel now. There's a new clip. If you're wondering what we're talking about, that Josh Johnson stuff, the clip's on the channel right now too, so go check that out. Help, support, do the stuff. We love you. We will be back here next week. This has been Black Zeus the podcast, season 6, episode 11. I am Black Zeus. You are the beautiful people. Till next week. Peace. Peace.
Hey, it's Hen Dog.
Black Zeus the podcast, season 6, featuring Black Zeus and Dante, aka Black Zeus on YouTube, Patreon, and Instagram.